This is Young Talk 254 with Irene John.
Hello, this is Young Talk 254 with your girl Irene John. And this show, we talk to the young adults and also about the young adults. And we tackle topics that mostly affect all of us in one way or another. We'll talk about money, we talk about love, we talk about mental health, we talk about self-esteem, most importantly. But above all, we have fun at the show. And today we're going to tackle a very interesting topic called bullying. Bullying, because this is something that has affected some of us in one way or another. Maybe it's also affecting you right now. Are you being bullied where you are? Or are you bullying somebody? And what are the repercussions of being bullied? Okay, so I brought two amazing guests that are going to share with us their stories of how bullying has affected them and how they were bullied. So I will start on my right. Actually, it's my left. On my left is Rachel. Yes, she's a student at ADMI doing film and TV production. I should let you to introduce yourself.
Hi everyone, my name is Rachel Bengo. I'm a student at ADMI, pursuing film and TV production semester 2 right now.
All right, and then on to her, I'm really bad with right and left. On to her left side, we have Fred. I'll just let him introduce himself.
Hi guys, my name is Fred Bosire. I'm a student at University of Nairobi, UON, currently studying medicine. I'm in my third year, and yeah, I'm happy to be here.
All right, I'm extra happy for you guys. All right, and we're going to tackle a very sensitive topic. This is something that most of us don't want to talk about it or accept that we've been bullied. You'll ask so many young people, have you ever been bullied? And they'll just be like, no, because apparently we've been taught that if you bullied, it makes you stronger. And then if you accept you've been bullied, it makes you weak, which is not the case. Because now what it does to us, it kills you inside. So I'm going to start with ladies first, right? I'm going to start with Rachel and ask you, have you ever been bullied?
Yes.
You want to tell us how you were bullied and how it happened?
So, I was bullied when I was in high school.
Okay.
While I was in Form 4, actually my last term. Nimesomea shule for 4 years. Na kenye ilinihapenia ya school, it was like a shock. So it happened vile niliomba msichana fulani flash. Nimtumia assignments. Nilikuwa computer
Just be close
student.
to the mic.
Nilikuwa computer student.
Yes.
So nilikuwa nataka kuwapatia my projects. Waone kenye nimefanya. We were like sharing everything. With this group we were tight. So akanipatia flash. Nikaenda transfer kila kitu, like everyone class alinipatia. So tunaenda lunch, nikapoteza flash 2. Mine na ya msichana fulani.
Just pull your mic closer kidogo, pole Rachel na kusumbua. Ni yako, tumesanitize. Okay.
So nika notice flash imepotea. Okay. Nikiwa lunch sasa natoka naosha sahani nini.
Yeah.
So niko like, iko wapi flash? Sitaki kesi sahi. Ni third term, ni time ya kesi, sitaki stress.
Yeah.
So nikaenda kila mahali nikitafuta dom, nikaambia my closest friend and nikamwambia like, nimepoteza flash ya geti na naogopa. She's this girl mwenye ukimkasirisha ana snap tu.
Yeah.
Ana snap haraka. So ikakuwa 2 days bado natafuta. Nikamwambia acha nimwandikie notes, nimwambie nimeilose but nitaipata.
Yeah.
So akaisikia kwa msichana fulani nimeipoteza. So najua ukisikilia pia ni shida.
Yeah, it's very bad. Afadhali asikia wa kwanza.
Kutoka kwangu.
Yeah.
So nikakujua na rafiki yake, best friend yake. Like, nasikia umepoteza flash ya geti. Niko like, sijapoteza but naitafuta tu bado. So like, okay, it's okay. Relax tu utaipata. Jioni around around 3 akanikujia na class nzima ati Rachel iko wapi flash Bengo tunataka hiyo flash sahi tunataka kuweka projects zetu sahi like ilete sahi.
Yeah.
So I'm like okay nikupatie flash yangu I'll sacrifice my flash nitatumana ingine inunuliwe ati hapana nataka hiyo nilipewa na mamangu. It's a blessing.
So you're offering your own flash because kashida ni flash tuchukue tu flash yangu and then we look for another one,
but unajua tu vile high school girls wako wanataka tu hiyo yao. So nikampatia akaitupa flash yangu like okay kani madharau ungeniambia tu utaki ningeelewa.
What?
So
then what happened?
Nikaenda class.
Okay.
Nikatulia tu hapo nikasema Rachel recall everything that happened that day. So huo msichana akaniambia to meet 5 kwa dom we search everything yako. Nikamwambia okay haina shida. So 4:30 ndio naelekea dom. Napata like kila mtu gang nzima.
Sorry guys, I'm so sorry.
Napata gang nzima inanikujia. It's like Rachel ni nini hizo unafanya nini? So I'm like nimefanya ati tusha search kila kitu yako. Mmepata wapi keys? I have my own keys. Hakuna mtu akona spare zangu. Ati tushavunja. Tumevunja padlock, tumevunja cabinet, tumevunja zip ya suitcase. Niko like what? You don't have my authority.
Yeah.
You don't.
Nani flash peke.
Flash.
Yeah.
Kitu kadogo ya 8 GB. But siko madharau. So nikaenda dom napata mattress suitcase imekwa kwa tank.
What?
Sasa place ya hanging line mattress imekwa tu hapo iko wet. My uniforms ziko hapo pia ziko hapo tu ziko wet. So I'm like yani flash ndio imefanya kila kitu yangu ifanywe hivi.
And then it's your entire class wanakufanyia hivyo.
Imagine.
Wow, that is so sad. Yeah.
Nikatulia tu nikasema ni life ya high school. But then ni life ya high school aje na niko private school.
Yeah.
Catholic school, missionary school.
Yeah.
Enye nimekaa 4 years na sijai complain. So nikatoka nje, nikatafuta msichana fulani hapo. Form 2, amekuwa rafiki yangu mpoa. So nikamwambia what has happened. Akaniambia don't worry Bengo, ni life. Niko like si life kwangu. It's not a normal thing in my life. So kwenda nje kuongelesha au wasichana wakaanza kunipiga. The owner of the flash akanipiga slap. Niko like okay I'm not a violent person but it's not right. Then kila mtu ako like Bengo hiyo tabia uache tunajua the worst part statement matombo hizo nakuanga hivyo. Yeah, I was a tomboy in high school.
Yeah.
It was so sad, it was so painful. Nilisikia uchungu being a tomboy tunajajiwa kila mahali like cases zote za shule tomboys wako hapo leading.
And why will they do that?
Si wanafikirianga tunakonga na hii mentality ya yes kwa boys pia boys wanakonga rough at some point. So wanakonga hivyo. So wakanipiga slap ya kwanza niko like so okay unataka kunipiga kila mahali nikutole nguo nipige kama mangu. You don't have the right. So like Bengo acha kuongea hivyo acha madharau. Niko like you want the flash ni search mwili nzima ni search ujumeshaika kila kitu yangu maji search me. So I just started removing my shirt nikatoa skirt nilikuwa nimevaa short ndani nikamwambia search then principal wakaona principal kwa mbali na director then wakanivuta wakanipeleka nyuma ya dining hall. That's hapo ndo sasa point ilianza napigwa tu. I was like yo Bengo hiyo ni ujinga nini hatu entertain shule ati hatutaki uwizi. Niko like sijaiba mmetafuta kila mahali na mmekosa. Sijaiba mmendadi kwa loka mkavunja padlock. I have to pay like another 500 Gs kutengeneza nini loka. So like okay nikachill tisha computer kakuja ati nasikia Bengo amepigwa. So I just see my best friend alikuwa form 3 ananipita tu anaenda. I'm like what are these real friends? Hiyo ndio ile time una feel you're alone.
Yeah.
Kwa hii dunia.
And how did you come out of that situation? How did you resolve the whole thing?
Tulienda kwa director's office. Bado akanipiga hapo.
What?
Akasema niko na madharau.
Yeah.
Nikamwambia like unawezaje nipiga mbele ya mwenye shule.
Wait, so the chick who
Mwenye
you lost,
Flash.
yes, anakupiga mbele ya director.
Mbele ya director.
And the director does nothing.
Alimsimamisha.
Oh.
Alimpeleka different room akamwambia uko na issues za temper.
Welcome back to Young Talk 254. I'm your girl, Irene John. And before we went on a break, we were talking about bullying. How has bullying affected you? Have you ever been bullied? And today we have an amazing guest. Her name is Rachel. She's given us her story, a very heartfelt story for sure, of how she was bullied in high school because of who she was and because of something very petty. You know, something very petty can really cost someone's life. So, Rachel, after all this, what happened to you in terms of getting new friends?
I couldn't trust anyone easily. Ilikuwa kitu ngumu sana, like having a friend, you open up, umwambie like your life, open up, as in it was just hard for me.
Yeah.
So ilibidi tu nikaitu na family because east or west home is best.
So after this bullying, it made you become a loner, in other words, and you were this friendly person,
sweet person.
Yeah.
I was very I actually nilikuwa hata naitwa teddy bear saa zingine because napenda hugs.
Yeah.
Mtu ana feel vizuri. Inapatia tu mtu hiyo motisha like.
I put your microphone close. Hey Rachel. Ongelesha microphone.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. That is really sad. If bullying can cause someone who is friendly, who is vibrant, just to be lonely, you know, and change someone's perspective. So we're going to listen to Fred's story. He also have an amazing story. Okay, it's not an amazing story, but a story that we'll learn from, right, Fred?
Right.
Yes. Can you tell us, how were you bullied?
Okay, first of all, to throw off any disclaimers, I was born here.
Okay.
Second, we moved to the United States when I was very young.
All right. Also, Mike, be close to it, or yes.
Yeah, okay. So, we moved to the United States when I was very young. And there I experienced some bullying, but it was very subtle. And it was actually from an older person than someone of my age, my peer. So, a friend of mine, I had a friend, of course, he was white.
Yeah.
Right? And then his mom found out that I was his friend. And so discouraged him from playing with me.
Because
right?
you're black.
Because I'm black.
Yeah.
And to make it worse, I'm from Africa. Right? I'm from Kenya.
Yeah.
So that was bullying in another way, not expected from an adult.
Yes.
And it was very racist, of course. And so my friend, I noticed he just would pull away. I was probably about 10 years old. He would pull away. He wouldn't play with me. And then when I asked him, what's going on? Did I do something to offend you? He was like, no, my mom doesn't want me to play with you. And he gave me those reasons. So that really made me feel bad, but I didn't give so much into that. And then again, around the same time, I was also a bully to someone else.
Oh,
so
right.
I was both in my life. I've been the victim and I've been the bully.
Yeah.
So I used to bully this other person for being a little bit overweight. And I was a very small, scrawny kid. I've never been, my entire life, I've never been chubby.
Yeah.
Yeah. Except for my cheeks at one point. So I did that. But when my teacher at the time, my homeroom teacher, Mr. M, to this day, I remember him.
Yeah.
He made me aware of how I was making that person feel. And I was very apologetic for doing that. And I made some kind of pact with myself that I would never make somebody feel that way as long as I should live, especially intentionally.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I apologized, and we're friends to this day. We're really good friends with that person. And then we come over here. We come back here. We relocate here. And of course, this is the time when there are not so many international schools.
Yeah.
So I had to enroll in an 844 system school because even the schools that were there were just overly priced. Even to date, they're just so expensive. So
yeah.
I had to join an 844 system school.
Yeah.
And I got a little backlash from there because of the way I talked, right? And to this day, my parents did something very important. They, in the house, even in the States, whenever they'd speak to us in either Kiswahili, and in case you haven't gotten from my name,
Like,
I'm from Kisi, so
Yeah.
I know those two languages very well. In as much as I'm not so fluent in them, but I know them.
Yeah.
So that helped me in terms of communication with people. And I didn't feel so much left out until when we came back here. And there was a specific incident when I was bullied. And this is very funny or very ironical because it happened in church. And there was a program for kids and we went to church. And as I spoke to people, as I started to mingle, they realized that I talked different. So this group of boys who were a bit older than me at the time, or still are, because
Yeah.
they physically bullied me. They didn't beat me, but they were like tormenting me, making me like be on the ground
All the time.
all the time, like on the ground. Throughout this, it was a 1 week program, so they would do this. And the final day of that program, they stole my belt, so I had to walk home
Holding your shorts.
holding my jeans.
Oh,
And that was the effect that had on me.
yeah.
I was very closed off, and from that, because I was very early on when we came. So when we landed to probably around after high school,
Yeah.
I was a very closed off guy, and I never talked to people. I never really socialized, especially in church. I never socialized with people who I could be friends with, who were potential friends.
Yeah.
And that was a lonely time in my life. I just had family, it's great. I mean,
Yeah, you
I
get to
have-
bond with them.
I have 2 sisters and a brother, so we got along well.
Yeah.
And so I spent more time with them, and I really came out of my shell when I went to high school. Right? Keeping in mind, I wasn't so fluent in
Kiswahili.
Swahili,
Yeah.
but I could conversate, and I was also not good in Sheng, right? And
Yeah.
that's like the young. In high school, it was like a fresh start. I would never answer any question in English for fear of condemnation from anyone,
Yeah.
for fear of attacking from anyone. So I wouldn't be more myself, and I was always leaning towards pleasing people, doing what people would feel that they, deserve from me,
Yeah.
or that they would insinuate that I should do for them. So in high school, I was that guy. You need something, ita bosire. You need to do something. You need something done. You need help on an assignment, ita bosire. If you need some work done, ita bosire.
Yeah.
That's who I was in high school. And again, if you can tell, I have braces.
Yeah.
So my teeth were a bit, well, not even a bit, they were messed up. And I got so I was attacked for that. Not really like physically, but verbally. I was attacked by, again, people who I thought were my friends because I would help them. And of course, they wouldn't help me as much as I would help them, but I definitely would call them my friends.
Yeah.
And yeah, they made fun of me for my messed up teeth. Again, that had another effect. For the longest time, I would not smile, right? Openly with my teeth. I would either cover, if I'm laughing, I'd cover my mouth. When I'm eating, I'd be very cautious in my movements so that people don't see, especially in new crowds. So that's the effect it had on me. And after high school, that's when, again, I really came out of this shell because of interacting with people again in a new sphere. And people, especially when I would want to express myself in the best way possible, I would choose English as my preferred language for communication because I've been speaking it for a while.
All right. Fred, we'll go on a short break. And then when we come back, you're going to tell us the effect bullying had on you, how you've worked, you've outcomed the situation, how you've learned to live with people. Now you, as Fred, you smile more oftenly, right? All right. Okay. So we are going again on a short break. And when we come back, we're going to find out how bullying affected them and how they resolved it and came back to their glory again. All right, this is Young Talk 254. I'm your girl, Irene John. Welcome back to Young Talk 254 with your girl, Irene John. And before we went on that break, Fred was telling us of how he was bullied and how bullied has affected his life. Because this is something that we ignore, something we don't talk about, but it actually affects most kids and most grown-ups at large. You might be affected at your work. You might think it's normal, but it shouldn't be normal. It shouldn't be normal someone to abuse you, someone to, I don't know, look down on you, someone to make you feel unworthy. It shouldn't be normal at any point. So before we went, Fred gave us a story of how he was bullied. He lived in the US, come back to Kenya. Instead of people accepting him, he was not wanted where he was. Then come back home, he still received almost the same treatment from the same people, the same tribe, same color, as in it is not right. So how has that affected you as a person, as a man, to be precise?
I'll just speak as a person because it would affect anyone in the way it affected me,
Yeah.
I think. So I said this before. I was very closed off. I'm not someone but as a child, I remember this. I was a loud kid. I was all over the place. That kid who everyone knew. And because of what happened to me and not feeling accepted, even in the new crowds, it caused me to close myself off and just to be very cautious even in my interactions with new people, and even to withdraw more than I would,
Normally.
Yeah, normally, more than normal. Yeah, so that's the effect it had. I mean, even with the people who I'm comfortable with, like if you meet me now, today, for the first time, I won't say much.
Yeah.
I'll just be observant. We'll have to have frequent interactions for me to really open up and come out of my shell. So that I think I would have had more friends had it not been for the experiences that I went through. But again, because of the people that I know now, I'm leaning more towards being open with newer people than I am not even associating with them.
All right. Thank you so much. And I'm really glad that you have a positive outcome after all that has happened to you. Because I think to some people, they'll just crash off and shut off and then start doing things like maybe drugs, and just be lost completely. So it's really nice to know after whatever you went through, you still came out strong. Rachel, how has it affected you being bullied?
Ilikuwa ngumu sana ku make friends. Ku accept watu kwa maisha yangu ilikuwa ngumu.
Yeah.
But then kenye mamangu aliniambia ni friends si lazima. As in mko na hiyo connections ati adu usahau familia yako si lazima, because they always hurt you. They'll always leave a scar in your heart. Watakuacha hanging. As in utasikia tu messed up.
Yeah.
So ukiwa na mtu mmoja mwenye as in you can talk to, open up to. My mom ni single mom, so amekuwa close na sisi, and the fact that I have a twin sister imekuwa
easier,
amazing. Hata kama tulikuwa separated high school, high school nini time ya holiday tulikuwa hivi hatukuwa tunaachana, like friends for life, because she's my half.
Okay. All right. Fred, can you tell us like the different types of bullying? Because I understand that people do not understand the different types of bullying. Because there's so many. They're like around 6. Yeah?
Yeah. There are about 6 types of bullying. Some which go more noticed or are more noticeable than others. So the first one being physical bullying, which is, I think, what Rachel went through. She was thoroughly beaten, and that was so unfair.
Yes, we're so sorry.
Sorry. There's physical bullying. There's verbal bullying, where you attack people with just word of mouth. I experienced most of that. And there's relational aggression, which is very... This is one which can go unnoticed quite easily. by anyone because you have a relationship with this person, but they're out to torment you. They're out to intimidate you, even in public. You know, you have that friend or you call a friend, you're talking to them, or you're talking in a group, and then they just shoot you down and make you feel bad or say something negative about you. Probably not intentional, but also sometimes intentional from them to make you seem like a bad person or to make you seem less worthy, especially in a group or in a crowd, than you actually are. So that's called relational aggression. And there is cyberbullying, which we are all familiar with.
Yeah.
It consists of posting pictures and comments on social media, especially about someone, which are very hurtful. And the fifth one, I think I'm on number 5, yeah? Fifth one is sexual bullying, which is could lean towards rape, yeah. And then the last one is it's called prejudicial bullying, which is you prefer. Like I could give it a good example is racism.
Yeah.
That is prejudicial. You're prejudiced against a group of people, and then you voice that out more clearly and more aggressively than you should.
Yeah.
So those are the 6 types of bullying.
Thank you so much. So, in conclusion, what can you tell someone who is going through bullying and also the person who is bullying? I'll start with Rachel.
For the people who are bullying, according to me, shame on you. Because you're just like me. What you're going through, I'm sure you're being hurt inside. I'm also being hurt inside.
Rachel, talk to the mic and look at that camera. All right.
Shame on you. If you're being hurt inside, please go talk to someone. Don't pressure the other person. And for the one who's being bullied, please just go to your mom, hug her, or your sister, hug her, or someone close to you and hug her. Tell her what you're feeling, because trust me, you'll feel good. That's okay.
Thank you so much, and that's beautiful. Yes, Fred.
So.
Yes, talk to that camera. To the bully, the people who are bullying, and also the one who is being bullied.
Right.
Yes.
So, to the bullies, I've been a bully before, and for my story or my incident, I didn't know how it made the other person feel. So if you're bullying someone, please just introspect, have that conversation with yourself. Make sure you know that you're not projecting any of your insecurities on other people and making them feel bad for that. And, again, just stop. And for the victim, please talk to someone before it gets too far. I mean, I'm sure there are authority figures, even at work. Again, you can find your colleague or even in school who is bullying you in very subtle ways, but that also affects you and affects your work. And it can spiral downwards to even causing your work not to look as good as it should. And just find somebody to talk to, an authority figure, or just somebody who can support you in some kind of way emotionally, and talk to them, and they will help you figure out what to do. And if it's not possible, just try and avoid that bully.
Yes.
One thing for sure, crying is not bad. You cry it all out.
Yeah.
Always cry. It's okay.
All right.
It's okay.
If you're being bullied, or you actually if you're being bullied, look for somebody to talk to. Do not drown yourself in drugs or any other thing. They will not resolve your emotions. The best thing that will resolve your emotion is talking about it and working towards it. All right? Look for something that makes you happy and talk to people. And for those who are bullying, don't take your problems out of somebody. If you have esteem issues, don't let everyone else have esteem issues. If you have your anger issues, don't let anyone else have the same issues, because your problem is your problem and work on it. But other than that, let's love each other and embrace just love, basically. How you look, where you come from. Personality, even our fingers are not the same, but the thing is, they need to be together so that they can make the hand. On that note, see you next time. I'm your girl, Irene.
Catch Irene John weekly on Young Talk 254.